Today I'm going to give away a free t-shirt, bring you a Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown fight, bring you comics news, and reveal the books I bought this week. How y'all doing? I'm Victor, and you are watching the Comic Hero Show. Now kick that logo! Edition of the Comic Hero Show. I'm your host Victor Nunley, and I am the Comic Hero. Alright, now I've said this in the past two episodes. We're still in the midst of this coronavirus pandemic, and I just hope that each and every one of y'all, no matter where you may be here in the world, I just hope that you're safe, and I just hope that you, and if all possible, if unless it can't be helped, please stay at home. There's still people that are testing positive for it. There's still people that have died from it, and it's a sad situation. But I believe that we're going to get through this. It may take a while, but we're going to get through this. Remember, it's just like I said when I did episode 302. Nothing bad is permanent. Nothing. It's just temporary. And I just believe that real soon, it may take a few months, but we're going to get through this. And in the meantime, I do this every week, regardless of what the situation may be. My job is to talk comics within or anything within the realm, and do so in a manner that's not over anyone's heads. And also, if you answer correctly and I draw your name, you even win a free t-shirt. So speaking of which, it's time to give away a free t-shirt. Alright, on last week's episode I asked which member of the X-Men was originally pitched to DC but was rejected for being too weird looking. Now I gave some hints on social media. Now the first hint I gave was that this character debuted in John Size X-Men #1 in 1975. The second hint I gave was that this character hails from Germany. The third hint I gave was that Alan Cumming played this character in X2 X-Men United. And the final clue I gave is that he is the son of Mystique and Azazel. Well, the correct answer is Kurt Wagner himself, Nightcrawler. And 30 people have answered correctly, and because they've answered correctly, their names have been entered in the drawing for a free tee. And that drawing takes place right now. So the winner of the free tee for this week's episode of the show is Carl Durrett from Neudorf, Germany. So congratulations, Carl. You win yourself a free Comic Hero tee. Alright, here's the question for next week's episode, and this is a Flash question. And it's very easy if you follow the Flash. Now, it may be a little hard if you just watch the TV series because this character has not shown up on the TV series. What relation is Impulse or Bart Allen to the Barry Allen Flash? Everyone who answers correctly will be entered in a drawing for a free tee on next week's episode of the show. Alright, now Tammy Cantrell from Warren, Ohio has requested a Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown fight. And this one features the King of the Seven Seas going up one of the most deadliest Disney characters that has ever been on the big and small screen. Representing DC, we have Aquaman. And representing Disney, we have Maleficent. These two are going to duke it out in a segment I like to call
The Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown.
Welcome to the Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown. Today, it's Aquaman versus Maleficent. Aquaman possesses superhuman strength, speed, endurance, agility, durability, reflexes and senses, telepathic control of all aquatic life, underwater adaptation, super fast swimming, and utilization of the Trident of Poseidon. Maleficent possesses powerful sorcery, superhuman strength, healing factor, hypnosis, ability to curse individuals, plant manipulation, object conjuration, metamorphosis, flight, summoning, and control. Who would win? Aquaman would definitely have the run for his money in this fight. Maleficent would try to place Aquaman in an escapable bubble, but the latter's speed will prevent her from doing so. Aquaman attempts to hurl the Trident Poseidon at Maleficent, but the latter summons the Trident to her. She then attempts to break it in half, but is electrocuted by the Trident. In other words, no one but Aquaman can wield the Trident, nor can it be destroyed. Aquaman then telepathically contacts an octopus. The octopus restrains Maleficent temporarily before being turned into a fly. Maleficent then tries to inflict a curse upon Aquaman, but to no avail. Aquaman, possessing the curse of Kordak since birth, is immune to any and all curses. Maleficent becomes annoyed over the fact that Aquaman won't go down easily. She then magically manipulates a bush of seaweed from the bottom of the ocean and envelops him with it. Just as Maleficent thinks she has the fight won, Mera shows up out of nowhere. She magically siphons the fluids from the seaweed, causing Aquaman to break free and recover. Maleficent then tries to conjure up a spell against Mera, but the latter siphons all the bodily fluids from Maleficent's body, killing her instantly. That just goes to show you that beside every king is a queen. Mera wins, and that concludes this fight on the Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown. Hell hath no fury like the Queen of the Seven Seas scorned. Thank you, Tammy Cantrell. I hope y'all enjoyed that fight, and I'll have another one next week. Now it's time for Comically Speaking, so without further ado, let's talk comics! Alright, I have three things I'm going to talk about in this segment of Comically Speaking, and the first one is that DC and Warner Brothers have decided to push back the release date to Wonder Woman 1984 to August. And well, this is because of the coronavirus pandemic, and you know it makes sense to want to do that, and because of that, I'm not upset at all. Now, the second thing I want to talk about is Marvel Studios at first deciding to stream Black Widow on Disney Plus on the movie's original release date, but for some reason they decided to change their minds. I don't know. I feel the same way about that I do at Wonder Woman 1984. I mean, oh well. What they're probably going to do is that they're probably going to do the same thing that DC and Warner Brothers are doing at Wonder Woman 1984, and they're probably going to push back, going to think of a brand new release date. But here's the thing: we don't know exactly when this pandemic is going to end. We don't know. It's just with so many new cases and deaths. It's kind of hard to tell when exactly we're going to be done with this pandemic. But either way, whether they want to stream them on, if Marvel wants to stream Black Widow on Disney Plus or think of another theater release date, that's fine. If DC and Warner Brothers decide instead of pushing it to instead of sticking to their guns and pushing it to August and then have it streaming on DC Universe, fine. That's just the way I feel about it. Now there are quite a few people who are a little upset about it, but it's whatever. A lot of times, some of these companies, they come up with stuff like this, and it may, folks may be fine with it, and folks may be upset about it, but it's fine. Now, I can understand why Marvel and Disney decided not to stream it on Disney Plus, and that's only because all these streaming services are doing very well. Whether it be Disney Plus, whether it be CBS All Access, whether it be Netflix, whether it be Apple TV, they're all doing well because a lot of those states here in the U.S. have issued stay-at-home orders, and a lot of times, folks want to like stream stuff, subscribe to some of these services and and watch some shows. So I can understand that. Now, the final thing that I'm going to talk about in this segment of Comically Speaking is I just read the first issue of Green Lantern Season 2. Now, this is the follow-up to the Green Lantern 12-issue series that was written by Grant Morrison with art by with Liam Sharp, who is under no circumstances a stranger to DC. I mean, he also worked on Wonder Woman. I mean, this book is pretty. Now the first issue, the first series that came out last year, that series was a complete masterclass on how comics are supposed to be done. I mean, the writing was. I mean, Morrison's writing was spot on, and Sharp's artwork. I mean, it's amazing. It also gives a bit of a vintage feel, especially with the colors by Steve Olive. I mean, I'm really looking forward to reading the next 11 issues. Now, in the first issue, Green Lantern, or should I say Hal Jordan rather, has to go to this planet where the Guardians of the Universe were first formed. He was assigned to do that by one of the Elder Guardians. They contacted the person that created the Guardians, and she gladly gave them more. And it didn't take them long to start maturing. And what did they do as soon as they matured? They reassigned Hal Jordan to the part of Sector 2814 that he does not want to patrol Earth. Over time, Hal, being a pilot in the U.S. Air Force, and then also at Ferris Air, he loves to go beyond. When he became a Green Lantern, he decided that he wanted to go throughout the solar system and beyond, which he has done many times. He has been like all over the universe and back. And the last thing he wanted to do was be on Earth because he felt like he was grounded. But unfortunately, the Guardians have spoken, and it's time to head home. But I'm really looking forward to it, to reading the next 11 issues of this book. I mean, I was blown away by the first 12 issue series that was done by Morrison and Sharp, and I can't wait to read more. All right, that's it for Comically Speaking. Now let's get to the comics I bought this week.
Comic books I bought this week.
All right, first up is Action Comics number 1021. The Amazing Spider-Man number 42. Black Panther number 22. Detective Comics number 1021. Love this book. Far Sector number 5. The Flash number 752. The Immortal Hulk number 33, or down there it says issue number 750. In other words, that means it's the 700 issue overall, ever since the book started in 1962. Of course, it was originally called The Incredible Hulk. Justice League Dark number 21. Legion of Superheroes number 5. Supergirl number 40. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 104. Wonder Woman number 754. X-Men number 9. And finally, X-Men Fantastic Four number 3. All right, that's 14, which brings the total number of comics that I bought since December of 1997 to 9,951. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. Here's a question again for a free tee for next week's episode of the show. What relation is Impulse, or Bart Allen, to the Barry Allen Flash? Everyone who answers correctly will be in a drawing for a free tee on next week's episode of the show. And congratulations to Carl Durat from Neudorf, Germany, who won a free tee on this week's episode. All right, now, with the count being 9,951, I'm only 49 away from 10,000 comics. And folks, the t-shirt is ready. When I get to the, right before I do the episode where I get to 10,000 comics, I'm going to put the shirt in a garment bag, and I'm going to take a picture of the shirt with the garment bag, and I'm going to post it on social media. Now I know, and your job is to like or love it. Now I know that sounds kind of weird, but you just gotta have to trust me. You know, as long as I've been doing the show, which has been almost 6.5 years, I've never had really any ugly looking shirts. And I think this is something that I think is going to be fun for everyone. You know, in the times we're living in, we need to do something that's fun. I think something as fun as this would be beneficial to each and every one of y'all. So, and that's what I'm bringing to the table. And if you're watching this and you've been tested positive for the coronavirus, my thoughts and prayers are with you. And I'm just praying that that y'all recover, so y'all so y'all may continue to live your lives here on this side. And I just ask that for all of y'all, just be careful out there. And if you don't have to go out, just stay at home. Now I know how hard that can be, but trust me. The more we stay at home, the more lives we save, including your own. I mean, that's what I'm doing. I very rarely do I go out. I mean, and you know what? I'm fine with it. If it's something that is going to benefit myself as well as other people, I'm fine with it. It's just like I always say, adversity is temporary. I mean, before we know it, I'll be able to hang out with some folks that I know. I'll be able to hang out with family, and so will y'all. Just hang in there. And if you live somewhere where there's a stay-at-home order, please follow it. Please. All right, I'm Victor Nunley on the Comic Hero. I'll see you next week for episode 305. So until then, be safe, be blessed, be a hero.